but use the energy to go into those deep meditational states. Ideal optimal meditational states, deeper than a Tibetan monk is the research. In 7 minutes, go into those deep meditational states to let yourself know what God wants you to know.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are the 8th of September, Monday. And I'm sitting here with the legendary inventor and founder of the Energy Enhancement System, Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. We are one day past the Be Your Light conference, 2-day conference here in the city of Ghent in Belgium. Mesmerizing experience. And I'd like to start this interview. It's a second interview I do with Dr. Sandra Rose Michael with a question about this conference. Dr. Sandra, first of all, welcome for being and thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me and just creating such a magnificent event.
That's how you experienced it?
Absolute pure magnificence. And today we're in the afterglow.
We are all radiating.
Of the phenomenal energy of everybody, be your light. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we had 2 days. How would you describe day one and how would you compare that to day two?
Yeah. Day one was phenomenal, excellent quality of speakers. The venue was spectacular. The city of Ghent itself we were in a castle. So we have that ancient historical energy with creating the future for humanity, the new heaven, new earth through us. And every speaker contributed magnificently to that. Fantastic venue. And then yesterday, the second day, we had a wonderful family meeting of our center owners from, I know you said there were 22 countries represented.
Yes.
I don't think that many for center owners, but we had center owners from everywhere, including from Dubai and, and London and
Slovenia, Estonia,
Ireland,
yes.
and magnificent Switzerland. So that was magnificent. And so that was just fantastic to host the center owners who are all anchoring this light for the planet, for healing the world. And so that was great. And then we came here to the Beam Energy Center. We had laid all the foundations so well with the magnificence of each speaker and all the center owners. And you had 160 some people in the center itself, in the 48 units. And it took it just
to another level.
And anchored it at the same time.
Yeah.
Very grounded, but elevated.
And day one, you gave a mesmerizing speech. I think it's one of the best speeches that I've heard from you on that stage. But I want to focus on those first 10 minutes when you really go into the breath of life, the fact that we are beacons of light and columns in connection with the divine. Why is this so important for people to understand? Because to me, it's the essence of the energy enhancement. This beautiful.
That's exactly why. It is the very essence and understanding of the technology. And the spinal column being that standing column of light and breathing the light. This is what we call the alignment process. People go, what's HSA? Because they might see HSA on some of my material. It's the higher self-alignment. But it's being aligned by the light, with the light, and as the light and highest powers of love here on earth as it is in heaven through us now. And then that is what we share. It's that oneness with the breath and the perfection of the love of all life. And that's that infinity wave. And we talk about infinite waves of love. Infinite waves of love, radiating out to touch the hearts of all beings, to feel more love infinitely. And that connection that God's only a breath away ever. We have access to unlimited power, infinite intelligence, unconditional love, should we choose to accept it. And so breathing that light, that love, And as a divine opportunity, as you fill with that light, and you're filling literally every breath in the technology, you're breathing light, quantums of light. These are biophotons. And DNA is biophotonic. You're breathing it into the heart of the DNA, the heart of every cell. And a divine opportunity then to be so filled with the light that anything in the way of your greatest light and greatest love can be released in that process of aloha, oneness with the breath and the perfection of the love of all life within us. And as we stand in our power, in our light, in our love, like beams of light.
Exactly.
Beams. It's like pillars of light in the temple of God. And when we stand together, God wins. In unified fields, we have to be the greater community in sacred communion with each other. And that's the space that you created here so beautifully.
Thank you so much for that compliment. But your technology is very intentional. There's a lot of intention behind that. And you talk a lot about information fields of information of resonance. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? Because I think people fail to understand that what happens in this room is cellular communication with something that is emitted by these screens that people see in our center, right?
Yeah, these are very dense, intentional informational fields. And everything I talk about is the underlying intention. Being aligned by the light, with the light, as the light and highest powers of love. You're breathing more light, more love with every breath, expanding all capacities for love, because there's always room for more love somewhere. And love is letting go and letting God. So it's that relaxing then into new places of peace and power. So these are the intentionalities. Keeping the love, letting go of anything and everything that no longer serves our highest purpose, our greatest presence, and it's the breath that brings you present. And the more present that you are, the more you're in omnipresence, and omnipresence is within you. So it's very, very important intentional fields. And that's also, the huna, I recognize as a kahuna. Huna is the secret science of miracles. And this was developed by listening to thousands of bodies and going, what creates instant healing? Part of Huna is the secrets of instant healing. And so it's offering that field to people. It's offering the energy. It's literally activating the light at the core of the DNA, because we are stardust. We are beings of light, prime function of the DNA being the storage of photons. So it's activating that light within us. And then as we radiate light, nothing that's not of the light can affect us. So these are dense, intentional, and informational fields. And then with the scalar, it's a broadcast as well, because scalar is an informational field. It's carrier waves for information. And those broadcast, and the DNA is also that wireless communication. I was talking to two mothers yesterday, and they're talking about their sons. And I said, well, when you're in the system, their body came from your body, and you have wireless communication with their DNA. And to hold the greatest light and light force and vision for them, as you hold the visions, and the mission, and that aligns from within you, that radiates out, and they'll get the message.
Exactly. But this is what yesterday, when we were together with 160 people in this center, we could feel at some point, I really felt oneness between everybody. And you've spoken a lot about the fact that the more people are in the room, the stronger the energy becomes, because we all influencing each other. And at some point we were doing the hands, we were putting the hands on top of each other without touching, just like that. And that's when I felt we were all connected.
All spiraled.
It was
and it again to us like that, one of the principles of scalar, the infinity wave, that's the easiest way to understand scalar, is that infinity wave, that aloha, that's overwhelming love that flows out from the heart. And that's the dance of the DNA, the dance of creation. So that infinity wave, and it's a scalar wave. And one of the principles and aspects of scalar that's so important, it's transdimensional, beyond relative time and space, fifth dimensional and beyond. But one of the principles is total reorganization to higher and higher levels of function. And it's cumulative. And that coming together is in that divine union that created more of an implosion of light energies, coming together, implosion, release of charge. And everybody was so much more charged up as we enter into this new earth, the new creation here on earth.
I had a feeling there was like really an orgasmic state yesterday. You talked about that, right?
The big O. And that's what the photon emissions look like. Because that's how we're really meant to function, is in that divine radiance of beingness. That radiant light, the God Goddess coming together within you and radiating infinite light. That's really the alchemical sacred marriage within us of divine union. And that's what this really signifies, that from the heart. Yeah.
And the heart is really where it all starts. It's that sacred place. And that's, I think everybody felt the coherence of the heart, and then it spread out.
And
to all of
the heart of every cell.
Yes.
And the heart of the DNA, the core.
Yeah. So I want to touch upon something else. We have many guests that come to our center. Some people come here to relax. Other people come to work on trauma. Other people have physical ailments. Some people are sick, heavy diagnosis. There's a whole range of people that come and visit our center. Not everybody reacts the same way to the technology. Some people report results after 2 hours. Some people say after 10 hours, I don't really feel anything. And some people have I would say brutal reactions sometimes, because of certain things that happen in their body. Could you touch upon a little bit on what the system really means when people come in here, what it does to their body?
And it's very good for you to point out, it's very, very, very individual. This is just hyper healthy energy. It's a pristine energetic environment like we would have on an ideal planet. But people are coming in after living in a total toxic soup. The air, the water, the food, everything, the toxicity. Plus, we're like living in a microwave. You can't expect to get super healthy living in a microwave. The radiation unzips the DNA. This is unified fields to put it back in its original divine matrix, and the repair of the DNA with the active hydrogen being released and things like that. So people all have their own experience, but it's simply the power that made the body heals the body. So this is like plugging the body back into the ideal, optimal, energetic environment of light. Biophotons with the scalar, which creates a dynamic homeostasis, a balance, a dynamic homeostasis, where everything wants to reorganize to higher levels of function, as we talked about. So people come in with their own intentions, their own agendas. However, there's also this thing with the body of the infinite innate intelligence of the body itself. These bodies are an infinite intelligence of beingness. Divine creations, divine design.
And the list of priorities of the body is not always our own list of priorities, right?
Exactly. And so it's kind of funny. They might come in with an intention that their hair is going to grow faster, but maybe the body has a different priority. Or they might come in with one intention, what they're thinking and what they're going to get. And then I tell people to say all their prayers and set their own intentions, but focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Going, I want to heal my cancer, doesn't work. The body hears cancer and can keep doing it. You just gave it permission.
Yes.
Instead, thank your body. Every cell wants to function perfectly, as it says on your wall here.
It's your quote.
It wants to heal. It wants to function perfectly. And so you're going to breathe and give it all permission, and you're literally breathing light through every cell and every part of yourself, through all parts of the multiverse, really, because we're multidimensional beings. And letting every cell know and remember the power of the truth of the love of our being here, the love that's really behind it all. And sometimes it's a shamanic journey for people where it's going through the dark parts of self to get to the ecstasy of the love that's really behind it. That's the ecstatic states that are talked about and many people experience. But there's an excitation of the cells because it's literally turning the energy up. Many people feel they're vibrating or a buzz or, right?
Yeah, of course, absolutely, yeah. Buzzing all around.
Because it's literally increasing the millivoltage of the cells. It's turning on the mitochondria, things like that. It's giving the body the energy to heal itself because the power that made the body heals the body. And this is like plugging into that cosmic light socket, universal, infinite, unlimited power on, but it's still up to you what you do with the energy and up to your body and you what you do with the energy. And you can't make anybody heal. But as that light is coming on, as the cells are being charged, da-dum-da-da, they're being charged up, they're vibrating, they might shake off old stuff, and go into deep shift perhaps. But nothing gets released that's not ready to be released. The body has an intelligence, and it'll only let go of what is in alignment with your best and highest to let go of. So you don't want to stop and stuff the stuff back in. You want to support the body in the detox. You have the charge, and then the body wants to push the toxins out of every nook and cranny and pocket it's stuck it in. That's why the detox bath, they come.
Salt bath, right?
The salt bath to work with the charge in the body, but the salt's a negative charge. The toxins are positive charge. The acidity in the body, the acidity, the acidosis, that gets pulled out by the salt bath. You want to breathe. It takes breath for energy to move. That's what we always talk about, the breath. Breath is life, sacred breath of life. And it's the affirmation I am as well. It brings you into that I am presence. It's that affirmation. Oh yeah, I remember who I am and all that I am and all that I'm here for. And you're giving yourself cell by cell that permission to know and remember more of the truth of your being. Because then one of the principles of instant healing is as soon as you get the message from higher self or from God, what something's about, no more need for the symptom. And so you can breathe in the salt water, in the salt bath. Let everything dissolve into the water. Behind the physical toxins is the emotional toxicity, and the water works so much with that as well. And the skin is the largest organ of elimination, so nothing does what a bath does. The largest organ is the third kidneys. Let everything dissolve into the water so it can go down the drain and say, aloha. Been there, done that, got all the benefits of all your garbage.
And what about those few individuals that have these heavy detox reactions and that get scared after a session? Is there any type of message or advice you could give to them?
Get excited about it. It's your light force, life force, energy being turned on, and make an agreement with your body. Thank your body. Thank your body for everything is carried. Everything is done for you. It had to carry a lot of shift for you for a long time, probably decades sometimes of toxic, emotional and physical, eating garbage, whatever.
Yeah.
Decades to get where they got. And if the body pushed it all out at once, it wouldn't be good. But so it's not going to do that. But healing's kind of like peeling an onion. Some of the layers
It's a process.
It's a process, but it's like peeling an onion. Some of the layers come off easier and lighter. Other ones are stinkier and thicker. But the body knows what it's doing. Are you going to trust the infinite innate intelligence of your divine design, of God, or not? And thanking your body for doing whatever it takes to totally heal, to totally clear. And that's honoring, because healing means wholeness and it means holiness. And it's about remembering the sacredness of the body and who we are and all that we are and all that we're here for. You've chosen to be here in this body, on this planet at this time, on purpose, just so we can fulfill all of our highest purposes in being here. And the more you've made anything wrong, the more wrong they had to get. The more you focus on the perfection, the more the perfection can manifest more perfectly. So what do you want?
It's beautiful to say that you focus on this intelligent divine design, because I think many people, we've forgotten. We've always placed our own authority outside ourselves. Take a pill for this, listen to this person.
And suppressing symptoms.
Suppressing symptoms as well, yeah.
Suppressing symptoms versus get excited about it. Oh boy, my body's working. It has the energy now to heal itself.
Mm-hmm.
It has the energy, but also it's something called a Herxheimer effect that people need to be aware of. Because as the body is pushing out whatever created dis-ease in the body, as it's pushing it out, you may re-experience some of the symptoms of that. And a choice whether you're going to keep that shift on the way out or let it go. This is the free will zone. Are you going to suppress it and stuff it back in again? Or are you going to get excited about it and thank your body for letting go so quickly, so easily, so deeply, and so completely now that you can be totally free?
Mm.
So get excited about it. But there can be that retracing where symptoms, as the body is pushing all the garbage into the bloodstream, you want to drink a lot of water. Charge the water in here because it's a 28% reduction of surface tension. It's restructuring of the water. You've got superhydration. So you want to drink a lot of water, maybe with some salt.
Yeah, to
because
activate it.
The salt of the earth, we are that. And need salt for and trace minerals. That's what carries the electrical charge in the body more effectively, and people have been deficient in those trace minerals, and many times deficient in good salt. So that's very important. You might put that in the water, but also make sure the bowels are moving. I like something called oxy powder. It's ozonated magnesium. That was Tesla's original formula for this time. And it releases oxygen through the entire intestinal tract. Oxy powder or ozonated magnesium. But there's also different herbs, like wormwood and things, because you want to let go of the different parasitic energetics, really, energies that have been sucking energy, whether it's inside or outside.
Yes.
The parasitic energy, so wormwood could be good for that. Black seed oil. You want to support the process, of the different herbal cleanses, enemas. I guess somebody has cancer. The Gerson therapy was coffee enemas. Or we joke about it, but we talk about it. The Kahuna coffee break is, instead of bottoms up, it's up the bottoms. That's your coffee enema. That it's a very important part for detoxification of the liver and the bile and moving. And so that's one of the things you can recommend, colonics, but also that ozonated magnesium or simply your detox herbs. But drink a lot of water. Make sure the bowels are moving, because you've got to let shift go.
Yeah,
I think I gave you my bathroom sign, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, yeah. But you explain basically that the EE system is not a quick fix, but it's the responsibility of every guest that walks into this space to support the detoxification process, however strong or soft that is, right?
Get excited about it. Thank your body.
Thank your body, yeah.
For working. It now has, you don't want to be afraid of your own life force energy, or afraid to let go of stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's also very interesting what you say about what people bringing to this space, whether it's water or it's the medallions or it's their supplements or crystals. Everything gets enhanced in the system, correct?
Yes, there is a scalar enhancement. The testing actually showed a 20% improvement in energy, just bringing things into an EE system. 20% improvement.
Oh.
But like our medallions and braces, 51% improvement was what was measured by Dr. Glenn Reiner, Stanford, Harvard biophysicist, and this was the lab studies and research on the electrical conductivity of DNA itself and the enhancement of that. So the medallions become very, very important as a way to maintain.
So these are hypercharged, right?
These are hypercharged.
Yeah.
These are hypercharged, and we have a proprietary process, but it's like entering Tesla's labs. There's so much that's going on with it. And that's how it embeds so strongly, indefinitely. Everybody wants to know, how long does the charge last? Well, how long does it, an infinity last? Keeps on going. These are self-healing, self-repairing, self-regenerative fields, because it interfaces with your DNA itself. So that's regeneration, repairing the damage, but it's helping maintain the integrity of the DNA, no matter what you're exposed to, like the toxins, whether it's the chemtrails, the toxins in the air, or radiation, because everybody's living like in a microwave. You can't expect to get super healthy living in a microwave. You got the Wi-Fi and all these different things. Everybody's dealing with extreme radiation poisoning. That's why a lot of people losing their hair, the thyroid conditions, all these different...
And brain fog and extreme fatigue. Yeah.
And the mitochondrial issues. But, it unzips the DNA. We don't put the DNA and keep the DNA so you stay strong and in integrity.
So what you're saying basically with these medallions is to recommend people to wear them all the time, because it creates a distortion field and a protective cloud around.
It's enhancing the biofield.
Okay.
It creates like a 5-foot cocoon of transmutational energy. We talked about this on stage, and somebody asked. It's not protection from. Instead, protection from doesn't work, because whatever you focus on expands. So protection from creates more things to protect from.
Exactly.
And then you have fancier victims. That's what I call fancy victim mode. But instead, it's about staying strong and in integrity with our light. Coherent, cohesive light. That's coherence. That's that cell signaling so that everything functions optimally. And this reminds the body of its ideal, optimal structure and environment from within. Whether it's, when I talked about structure, you've got the crystalline structures in the blood, and this helps communicate with all the crystalline structures, but this looks like a red blood cell.
It does.
And when you do the blood work before and after, you see distortion and all the garbage is stacked together, what you call rouleau in the blood, where everything's stuck together, sticky.
Sticky cells clearing.
Yeah, and which is a sign of hypoxia, where the red blood cells aren't able to carry oxygen to the brain, so that's the brain fog, or carry oxygen, or the radiation ionizes the brain. So you've got that stickiness of the blood, and after being in here or wearing the medallion, it helps the blood to flow freely, where the blood has the right charge, so everything is free-flowing and fully oxygenated.
Fantastic. Now, one of the things that we experience a lot is people come in here and they have their thing they want to work on. And then the question we get is, how many sessions do I need? And we always say, we put it back and we tell people, what do you think you need, right? Like to try to get them back to their authority.
Limited God beings, as we talked about, the human, the beings of light. Unlimited beings are not needy. That's coming from lack and fear of lack, and it's coming from a lack consciousness versus the abundance. There is nothing lacking. We are divine and perfect, holy, wholeness of being. And so it's coming from that. So I don't like the word need. And so I try to reframe that.
Okay.
But I also say, how healthy do you want to be? For how long? This is cumulative. And every time you come in, it gives the body more energy for you to function more and more optimally. Do you want to just mitigate some symptoms, like you go to a doctor and mitigate some symptoms, or do you want to be a super being, a superstar, have superhero powers, open up all of your capacities? What do you want? You can never have too much good energy. And if somebody goes, oh, I can't handle that might be that might be the parasite saying, "Oh no, it's changing the bioterrain too much. We're getting too alkaline to be able to stay with you." And so it might be the parasites having an eviction party, kicking and screaming on their way out and going, "Oh no, you can't go back in there."
Exactly, yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
or the parasites, the molds, the mildew, the different things the body's held on to, or sometimes it's those parasitic entities. One of our doctors, Dr. Sabina DeVita, she does the bio-well with Korotkov, Dr. Korotkov, the bio-well, and you could see the entities in the field, and she called this the car wash, because you come out and those energy-sucking attachments are all clean. It's the car wash. Your aura comes out all shiny and new. But so sometimes it's people's parasitic, entity attachments that don't want to be released.
I see.
And none of those are healthy. So that's the only time I've ever had people, "Oh, I can't go in there. I can't go back in there." It's, what haven't they been willing to release? Whether it's internally or externally.
What a beautiful question to ask people. How healthy do you want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How much of your light force energy do you want to experience? How much activation of the light within you are you willing to carry?
You can never really be healthy enough, right? There's always
You can never be too healthy. There's always room for more light and more love somewhere. And if your body's not having to work on so much here, there's more light, more love, more miracles for the whole planet, for the whole world. Focus on what we want. Start envisioning. And let yourself know. Use the energy. Ask and you shall receive. But use the energy to go into those deep meditational states. Ideal optimal meditational states, deeper than a Tibetan monk is the research, in 7 minutes. Go into those deep meditational states to let yourself know what God wants you to know. It's also the lucid dreaming, the deep dream states. But the closing the eyes in the system, because as long as the eyes are open, like we're here now, our eyes open, more than 70 to 80% of our body's energy is being externalized. But you close the eyes to go within, and so it's in the delta and theta brain states that things can repair, rejuvenate, and regenerate. You want to internalize the energy to give the body the energy to heal itself, but also to go within. It's like rebooting a computer. Defrag.
Yeah.
Creating more coherence. Defrag so that everything is in ideal optimal cellular communication. But going deep to know whatever God wants you to know. And ask and you shall receive. The trick is to be still and know what God wants you to know. Ask and you shall receive. Know you're good enough to ask.
And ask
and
really
good
good
enough to
questions.
receive.
Mhm.
The clearer the question, the clearer the answer. And we're connected to the infinite intelligence within and without. And so again, as soon as you get the message, what something's about, no more need for the symptom. Also, the other secret of instant healing is very significant. As soon as you're present, and it's the breath that brings you present, you're literally breathing light through every cell. That's cellular enlightenment, right?
Exactly.
Turn the lights on. And you see that with the energy fields. And raising the millivoltage in the cells, that's your cell membrane potential. There's all that. It's raising that. It's that enlightenment that as soon as you're present with the unloved parts of self, as soon as you're present with those parts of self, as soon as you're present with anything and everything with love, maybe your liver wasn't feeling real loved. If liver doesn't function or the pancreas doesn't function, if it's all knotted up and stressed out. So this is a way to breathe the energy through, tell the whole body, you can relax, release, and let go. Because our greatness is in the allowance of that unlimited power and light and love to flow through us freely. And let go of that circuit jams where it's the old holding patterns. All the ways you ever said, don't want to be here, don't want to deal with it, don't want to feel. The holding of the breath is what created tension and holding patterns in the body. And the deeper you breathe, the more you can let go. The more you let go, the more all the power, the light, and the love can flow. It's really pretty simple, but it's remembering God's only a breath away and remembering to breathe. Remembering to breathe. It's up to us whether we're continually, constantly, and consciously reconnecting with that source of all light and love and wisdom, that power of source energy within us or not. As soon as you breathe, being inspired, it's no longer out there, it's within you.
That's really nice. Dr. Sandra, Einstein once said that the future of medicine will be the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. That's what he said. So we also notice an adoption that is accelerating with conventional medicine, and we at Being, we're growing. We're like, we've been able to establish ourselves as a center here in this part of the world. We are also looking at partnering with conventional doctors, integrative medicine.
Holistic is looking at all the whole.
What is your advice in this regard when we meet skeptical clinicians or physicians that don't fully understand this technology? How would you say we deal best with them?
How to deal best? I mean, there's a long history of research with this technology, actually back to 1997, as far as with the history. And for initial clinicals, 2001, that study of the DNA. There's so many things I layered into this to get it to work and to interface with the DNA itself and the intersection of the fields to create the ideal optimal scalar environment and producing multiple fields of energy. Bioactive fields means the body relates to it. So that's been studied over and over. And it's been at University of Hawaii Medical School, for example, almost 20 years with our dear Dr. Terry Shintani. And we have a peer-reviewed published study published in the Journal of Neurology Research. So that's one of the studies that can be in that. And that is one of my favorite stories, actually.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yes, please.
Yeah. There's a little girl who, it was a clear case of, and you can cut this out if you need to, but clear case of vaccine damage and autism from her well baby check at 1.5 years. And so she was having grand mal seizures, 8 to 10 grand mal seizures flat out every single day. Yeah, and she was now nearly 4 years old. So that was 2 years of that. You imagine that as a parent, just devastating. And so they had tried everything allopathically, holistically. They even bought their own hyperbaric chamber. They'd done all the dietary, nutritional. They tried everything. She was still having 8 to 10 grand mals a day. We have the seizure logs. And she went to an 8-unit system at University of Hawaii Medical School. And he only put her in for 1 hour at a time. It was after the third, there was some reduction. They thought it was a little bit better after the first time in. After the second time in, the length and things reduced further. So it wasn't just their imagination. But she had her first seizure-free day after her third 1-hour session.
Wow.
Okay. So then she's coming still, once or twice a week. I forget what it was, but so she's coming, and Dr. Shintani, God bless him, called me up completely freaked out. I forget if it's after the 9th or 10th visit. Oh my God, she just had her worst seizure ever. Freaked out. I said, oh, thank God, that's wonderful news. It means the body is finally pushing out the rest of whatever created that, whether it was the aluminum or mercury or heavy metals that created the inflammation on the brain. The reduction of inflammation is very important, but the detoxification of the heavy metals that's finally pushing out whatever really created it in the first place, whether it's pushing it out of the bones, probably, wherever the body stored it deeper to try to protect from it. That's what the body does, that intelligence of the body. And it's like re-experiencing what created it in the first place on its way out. And after that, sure enough, it dropped to nil.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's an example of a Herxheimer type effect where a medical doctor is going, oh my God, the symptom is worse. What do we do? And I'm going, get right back in. It means that the body's energy it's working. It means the body's doing what it needs to totally heal and clear. Don't stop the process. Get right back in. If there's a symptom that's uncomfortable that comes up, and give the body the energy to move all the rest out. Don't stop it and reabsorb. That's why you want to do the baths and stuff afterwards. The body's mobilized, all kinds of cellular waste, parasites, what have you. The body's mobilized it. Now you want to let it go. You want to get it out, not reabsorb that, where the body has to, again, use more energy to get to those to try to release it. Mm-hmm. And give the body the energy. Get in the salt bath, get right back in, give the body the energy to let it all clear, to let it all go.
Beautiful. Yeah. I want to end on a positive note. We talked about miracles. You talked about the specific study of this little girl. Are there any type of other miracles that you say like these have stood out throughout the years of film? There's so many, I know.
There's so many, and I mean we talked about research before. There's telomere research, the longevity epigenetic studies. There's blood studies. There's the energy field studies with the biowell. There's so many. There's a lot of research that's been done, and that the best is, all the miracles. That's what feeds me. It's why we do what we do. We love miracles. We're very, very blessed. We've seen anything and everything that's completely healed. Understand it's a process. This is not an instant fast fix. It's giving the body and taking the time to give the body the time and energy to heal. Mm-hmm. And where the most benefit is in sleeping in it. Yeah, that delta and theta brain states. So, your overnights are part of where the magic is, and the lucid dreaming, and really relaxing into those deeper states of power.
You're shutting off your rational mind, right?
Yes, out of the conscious, getting to the subconscious, superconscious, unconscious, and getting them all consciously unified, oneness in intention. And so that's very, very important. But we've seen anything and everything heal. We love miracles. So many vision improvements. One of the things we've heard the most, I'm sure you've had that here, the blind seeing, the lame walking, the deaf hearing. Yeah. Literally, over and over, all over the world. Or I love it when they say it must have been a misdiagnosis. They can't find whatever was going on. They just can't find it anymore.
And they don't believe it. Was that in first minutes? Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are asking about innovation of the technology. Is that something that you have in mind by maybe adding certain things to the technology?
Of course. We're working on some different kinds of energetic enhancements. Energy enhancements. That'll be coming besides different products that support like our hydrogen bottle. Everybody's loving the shower filters. I don't know if you've tried that yet.
We haven't yet, but
everybody loves them, and they're very cost effective because you absorb the fluoride or the chlorine or everybody's, chemo drugs and hormones, everything that's in the water supplies. It's a way to filter all that out, but also restructure and hypercharge. And so like you're bathing in light in the shower even, and they're very cost effective. Less than 100 euros, we'll say. Or it's euros here, right?
That's euros in Belgium, yeah.
Less than 100 euros with a filter with a replacement filter. So 2 filters. And that'll last at least a year. And then you can buy replacement filters, things like that. But we'll be coming out with some very special different things for working more with
fantastic, brilliant.
The brain states. Mm-hmm. Right left brain synchronization is one of the most powerful aspects of this, and the brain controls the body. And this is opening up all the neural pathways and decalcifying the pineal gland, so people literally can get their higher vision back. opening up, right, left brain, the brain controls the body. So that's really important aspect of the technology. That's part of the healing, of that resetting and rebooting of the body from sympathetic or fright, flight, or fight, fear mode physically, victim mode physically, back into parasympathetic, that point of balance, that 0 point, where rather than being stressed out, instead you have all the power and all the energy to come from your center and respond to all the stressors appropriately, rather than outer reactive, it's inner responsive or response ability. That's some of our heart rate response variability shows that kind of adaptability, the ability to respond appropriately. It's also why we see such profound improvements with any kind of autoimmune
Disease.
diseases. Yes.
Dr. Sandra, I have a last question for you. We live in a world with a lot of chaos, if you look at the outside, but more and more people are awakening. You've said yourself that the Great Awakening cannot and will not be stopped. What is a message that you could give, a message of hope to our viewers who are listening to the interview today?
Focus on what we want, not what we don't want. Create the visions of how you want your body to be. Give it permission. Every cell wants to function perfectly. Give them all permission. Thank them. But the more you can envision what you want for your world, this is giving you the energy. It's enhancing your energy, giving you the energy to empower you to make healthier, more intelligent, more informed choices. And so to choose the things that create your greatest vision, your greatest light, your greatest life, our greatest communities, our greatest families, our greatest children. Fertility is another really good. We really want birthing centers. But having the energy to change our mind, to change our diet. If you love yourself, you're not going to put in anything that doesn't support light force energy, right? If you love yourself, you're going to quit poisoning yourself and quit paying for poisons out of addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's that change, the energy to change, to make more intelligent choices for our communities, our families, our world, and change the energy to change the world. And we're in that time of the turning
of the ages,
the time of prophecy. It's been called apocalypse, the great revealing, the great revelation, disclosure, everything being exposed, and this, so that we can see things clearly now and reclaim our bodies, reclaim our energy, reclaim this beautiful planet as, it's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
New heaven, new earth through us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sandra. We, in name of my beautiful two partners, Stan and Christophe, we want to thank you for coming to Belgium, to our center. We honor you for what you've done, for what you brought to the world, the technology. We're fully behind the mission, and we stand in truth. We stand in a vision to help humanity heal itself. That's what we want to do. We want to continue your work in this part of the world and maybe beyond, who knows? And I want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this interview, the second interview that we've done. And to our viewers as well, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you liked this interview.
One more reminder.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Whatever the need, whatever the problem, love is the answer. But the only thing beyond love is more fully shared love. And so share with anybody and everybody. Share your light, share your love, be your light.
That's it. Thank you so much, everybody. And until we meet again, bye-bye. Hello.